The objective of our project is that we are going to detect the personality. Personality plays a key role in predicting many factors of an individual, such as mental and physical. What are its career fit, either it is well-being or not. Hence, getting a deep insight into a person's soft skill is of key importance. And like you see from the figure that there are various soft skills like time management, situational awareness, empathy, common sense, focus, ambition. And with the help of this system, MBTI program, which was actually a theory developed by a C.J. Jung, a scientist, or I would say a psychologist, who created a 16 indicators, which was again polished by Isabel Briggs Meyer and her mother Catherine Briggs, and they developed it into a indicator system like MBTI. And there is also a live certification program that one can join and learn about this. They categorize the human personality into 16 indicators, like either it is introversion or extroversion. They are intuitive kind of person, what they first sense and then depends. They think before any action, or they just feel and do the action. They are in judging personality, or they are perceiving personalities. Depending on the four categories, when they collab into four indicators, they try to define some personalities. For instance, we can see the problem solver here. It is equivalent to ESTP. This ESTP means the the one who is problem solver, he must have extroversion nature, he has sensing, he believes in thinking, and he perceived very well. When they clubbed all the four, they get that this person is a problem solver. Similarly, if we go by the organizer, or I would say go by the analyst, there are different kind of indicators that we combine, and this MBTI actually try to use the into the four indicators, try to club the four indicators to get an idea of the soft skill personality. It's like they try to gauge the personality by saying that if you one should not argue with the person of ISTP personality if they are carrying a knife, or ISFP personality if they have a baby with them, or ISFJ personality that if they are making a promise, and if it is a ISFJ personality, we should not rely on them. This kind of system, and it is very useful system, and still many organizations are using this kind of system in their companies. Now, according to our project, they also developed some personality development for the famous personalities, as we can see from the figures. Johnny Depp, one of the famous actor, my favorite one also. He has INFP personalities. We have a famous Albert Einstein. We have a INTP kind of personalities. The guys who are introverted in nature, but how famous they are. And now let's move on to our data set. Our data set that we are using, we took the data sets. It is actually a club of 50 comments per person on the internet personality cafe website. We collected the 50 first post of a person, and from their posts we are trying to detect that to which personality they belong. According to our data set, we have almost 8,000 rows, more than 8,500 rows, and and we have two columns, one indicating the types and other indicates the comments, separated by three pipeline characters. And if we go some EDA, we can see that we have ENFP percent, like 33,750 comments related to these personalities. We have 54,550 comments related to INTJ personalities. So it's very good data to analyze the MBTI relevance. Now in our approach, we are trying to use that text information in the form of NLP approach. We are going to put some algorithms like logistic regression, KNN, random forest, and try to understand the accuracy and relevance of the MBTI indicators, and use the simple naive based classifier model will also classify people into MBTI personality styles based on their last 50 social media posts. And software tools that we're going to use Python, Jupyter, Tableau, Flask, and database to solve the personalities. Now let's move to EDA. In EDA, as I've already explained, that we have different areas of in database, like 21.1% is INFJ and INFP. So the data is not that much uniform, I would say. That's why I use some feature engineering in it. In EDA, we try to find, we are try to play with the data, like how many people, what kind of personality is using the most HTTP content, how many personalities are using the music content, how many if they are using more question marks in their contents, like they are asking questions, more questions, how many are living on exclamatory comment signs in the comments, how many of them using ellipsis as a comment. So this figures that we can see in the below, we are taking that ISFG is showing in the using the more question marks, exclamatory signs are used by ENTJ in their comments, and this is Pearson's correlation coefficient, which helps us in understanding that the value is lies in -1 to 1. When it is positive, it's like you have more, if you're using more images you have this kind of personality. If you are using negative, is like if one is increasing the other is would be decreasing. No correlation is like zero, no change in it. This is a Pearson correlation coefficient that helps us to see the different personalities and their comments. Now let's how we distribute the data. As I have already said, ki data was not uniform, so I try to change into two variables instead of four indicators. I divide all the indicators into two, as we can see from the sideways. If it is INFJ, I try to divide it into IE, either it is introvert or extrovert, either it is intuitive or sensory, either it is thinker or feeler. So you can see from after dividing all this, I can see the thinker and feelers is the data which is actually balancing itself. So I go with only this personality indicators to understand the actual personality of the person. There are the few processes that I've done. I have to clean the data, so I did tokenization and clean the data, and in the form of words I have to each commands I have to separate it into the form of words. Then I did data modeling, and you can see I focus on the thinkers and feelers. Thinkers are like they are based on intellectual comprehension of things through analysis and logical references. Feelers are like they involve the judging the value, have opinion about them according to their likes and dislikes. Feelers like they if they like it, they shows interest. Thinkers are like they go on more logical sense, not on their feelings, and both are opposite to each other. And when I apply few machine learning algorithms, we can see that we are getting 99.57% result on training and then on testing. So it is this model is actually giving us a very pretty good percentage of evaluation, like almost 80 to 95% on by average. Yes, now for the development purpose, we can see I have uploaded this my project on GitHub, and this is the link, and I even also try to build it on the Docker. So I even try to create a image in Docker which can be used for the development process. And the further I deployed on a Heroku platform, and this is my website link. It's personalitydetection.heroku.com, and I will show you the live working, how we can deal with my website and how it's trying to give us the right personality indicators. These are my timelines, how we develop the work. It's like from the 15th March to 8th April, we divide the whole work in our team, and the most of our time we spend on the data cleaning and even testing our app. In the end, in conclusion, I would say with this personality test model, we try to predict the relevance of this MBTI system which are still in existence, and moreover we try to find the various personalities by feeding the different data. By feeding the different kind of data, we try to predict the personality about the person. These are the references that I used for this research purpose and for the. Yes, now let's move to a live project. This is my slide. This is my GitHub link. If I open this link, it will take us to the GitHub link where I actually store our project, and with the help of this GitHub link, I managed to develop on this Heroku platform. And if I go to my website, it will try to make a connection. I don't know why it is taking such time. Okay, this is my website. It's just a demo website that I've created, personalitydetection.heroku.com, and this is the information. I'm basically focused on thinking and feeling, as I've already explained to you. And I have managed to create two test cases just to check my model. If I go by this general test case 1, and this is the comments that I have gained, and if I go by these comments of somebody, it's about whether is information about the loneliness issues, and keep in mind it is the quality of something. It's got some information. And if I find the personality, and it will give me that you have a priority for feelings. It involves judging the values of things or having an opinion about them based on their likes and dislikes. Okay, and let me take to the another sample. If I go to the another sample, it's about initially gender inequality, some information about gender equality and government information. And if I go by this fine personality, and it will show me that you have a logical thinking, that it was like advising the people. It's like you have an intellectual comprehension, and if we go by the live, I can even go by live detection. For instance, if I search project management, and if I go to the Wikipedia and just copy the, let's think that it's like a 50 comments text, and I copied it and go to my website and clear all these things and copied my Google information. And if we go by this personality, let's see whether it is a thinker or a feeler, and I go by the personality, and it says yes, it says it's a logical thinker. It's like it is intellectual comprehension. It's about it's explaining or describing what is project management. It's kind of giving the information. And if you go by the general text, it is giving the viewpoints. It's like how I feel, how shy people feel. And earlier it was logical, and if we find again, it will show us it's a priority for feelings. This is the main live project that we try to furnish. And for the Docker image, if I go to my Docker Hub link by clicking on this, you can see it is my, I have already built my project here, created the image, the latest one. And if I go by the tag, you can see here, this is the one by which I can download my image, and I click on it. As I have already copied the link that I was shown to you, and you can see that Docker pull Anurag Sharma 900 that I have copied. And now let me download this Docker image. You can see it is downloading all the files that was there on Docker Hub. It will take little time. It's downloading, extracting the files. It will automatically create the image on my system that I have stored on my Docker Hub. As you can see that I am pulling that from the hub. After it's downloading and extracting, we will see how we start the container and run our website. It's completing. It's this little heavy website, so it is taking a lot of time. It's almost complete. can see it is almost in the end. Yes, now we have downloaded our, you can see the message that we have downloaded our newer image. Now let me see where it is the image. If you want to see our image, we will use Docker images, and we can see from here. Let me clear the screen first. So you can see from here that we have that image already on our system. Now we just need to run that image, which will automatically create a container. For instance, docker run, and we'll create the, we will run the image, but first of all we'll give the name to our container. I will say Flask project, and later I will give the port number at which it will going to run. I'm using 5001, and later I'm going to run it, the image, and the image ID is, let me copy paste it, copy it and paste, and you can see it is running the image, and I'm getting the HTTP. And if I copy it and run on the browser, here is my browser, you can see the similar description that I have given on the Heroku. It is the description that I'm giving on the doc through the doc. Same thing, if I check whether it is a viewpoint of related to feelings or it is just a general information, it will give me that you have a priority for feelings. That's it. It's with the Docker. Thank you very much, and